This is NBK, nothing but Knicks. When Sim passed the assist, you know that it's #1 show that breaks down the game. If you can't play defense, stay out my way. Dribble the ball, come down the lane. 5 seconds on the shot clock, who gon' win us the game? You wanna hear Nick updates and trade rumors? Postgame reviews, this the place to tune in. So tell a friend just to keep the ball moving. Like the page if you feeling the movement. Every game we coming to win. Give us a sub like a player that came off the bench. This is NBK, nothing but Knicks.
Knicks family, what's poppin'? It's your boy. Ladies and gentlemen, the New York Knicks with an exciting victory over the Miami Heat, 122-120. And finally, folks, Julius Randle hits a game-winning shot for the Knicks. It took 4 years for him to get it done. But he got it done tonight in dramatic fashion, ladies and gentlemen. Dramatic fashion. Look. It was a crazy sequence, no doubt about it. Crazy sequence. Just before that, he turned the ball over. And it was like, oh, man, why we going back to him? I know it was hot, but, you know what I mean? He was fumbling and bumbling. You got to admit, though, Jimmy Butler, they didn't call a foul, but Jimmy Butler, excuse me, almost cursed. Jimmy Butler was fouling the heck out of Julius Randle on that play. And, of course, the refs swallowed their whistle. They wasn't going to call it. But he was riding them and bumping them the entire time. Julius Randle lost the ball along the sideline, and he was still able to get it up and over Jimmy Butler, and maybe it was Tyler Hero that was there, and knocked down a huge three, ladies and gentlemen. That sent the crowd crazy because there was a huge New York fan base there. And, man, you talk about somebody moving up the MVP ladder rankings. Julius Randle is doing just that, ladies and gentlemen. He's doing just that. Huge play from Julius Randle. Big win for the New York Knicks as they take down the Miami Heat. And the Knicks are now, 2.5 games above the Heat in the standings? Doesn't get no better than that, ladies and gentlemen. The Knicks, 11 games above 500 on an 8-game winning streak, the second most in the NBA, only behind the Milwaukee Bucks. The Knicks are now firmly in that 5th position. 2 games above the Brooklyn Nets. The Nets did get a win since the last time the Knicks and the Nets played. Knicks are like 4 games above the Miami Heat. Very good win for the New York Knicks. Julius Randle, the star of the night, though, ladies and gentlemen. The star of the night, Julius Randle. 43 points, 9 rebounds, 3 assists. He shot 64% from the field. He shot 61.5% from the three-point line. He was 8 for 13 from the three-point line. Jalen Brunson, 25 points, 8 assists. Of course, a big scare from Jalen Brunson. When Jalen Brunson went down, I know I was like, no, please don't let this happen. Not right now. Not in the midst of what's turning out to be a special season for the Knicks. Not now. Not now. But he came back. Didn't look to me like he had the same burst. I'm sure his foot, I think he fell on his right ankle. I'm sure his right ankle was, a little bit sore. It's definitely going to be sore tonight. The Knicks play on Sunday, so, he came back tonight. We'll see if he plays on Sunday. This was an important game for the Knicks, though. And some people would say, well, we'd rather have him for the game on Sunday. The thing is, the Knicks aren't catching the Boston Celtics. They're not catching the Celtics. They're not. It's not even close, not even in the ballpark. But the Miami Heat are just behind the New York Knicks. So this game really is kind of more important than that Boston game. Now, the Boston game is important because of the Atlantic Division standings, and of course, you just want to continue your win streak and continue to gain ground on the Cleveland Cavaliers and create separation between the Nets, the Miami Heat, so on and so forth. But this game was probably a little bit more important. So Brunson came back, toughed it out, and the Knicks get the win. They're one game in the loss column behind the Cleveland Cavaliers. One game in the loss column. Wait a minute, let me say that over. They're one game in the win column behind the Cleveland Cavaliers and one game in the loss column behind the Cleveland Cavaliers. The Cavs, 39-26. So they have 39 wins, 26 losses. The Knicks, 38-27. 38 wins, 27 losses. The Knicks are just one game behind the Cavs in the standings. They might catch them. They might be able to catch them, ladies and gentlemen. The Knicks 9-1 in their last 10 games. 19-15 at home. 19-12 on the road. 27-16 in the conference. And right now, they're 7-8 in the Atlantic Division. And if they beat the Celtics on Sunday, they'll be 8-8 in the Atlantic Division. That's what it is. That's what you want. Anyway, back to the box score. 21 for Emmanuel Quickly. 21 points, 3 assists, 2 rebounds. Played some decent defense. Shot well from the field. Only 11 shots for Emmanuel Quickly. 7 for 11 from the field. 63% from the field. 55% from the three-point line. RJ Barrett, 17 points, 53% from the field. 2 rebounds, 2 assists for RJ Barrett. Josh Hart, 5 points, 7 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals, 1 block. Did have 3 turnovers tonight. Hartenstein, 4 points, 4 rebounds. Mitchell Robinson, he gave us a scare tonight. A little bit of a scare. We see how well we're playing. Our defense is playing better with Mitchell Robinson back. And you can see how much the Knicks need Mitchell Robinson out there on the floor. So when he took a spill today, twisted his ankle just a little bit, I'm pretty sure a lot of people gave out a little bit of a gasp, like, oh, goodness, no, not Mitch again. But he fought through it, came back, played the remainder of the game. 4 points, 5 rebounds for Mitchell Robinson, 2 steals, 1 block shot. But he came up with some big plays. Obviously, he had the big steal of the night at the end of the game to ensure the Miami Heat did not get a shot off. Yeah, and RJ Barrett got some work in down the stretch of the game. All right, came in for Emmanuel Quickly with about 5 minutes left or something like that in the fourth quarter. And then they, Tom Thibodeau down the stretch played offense, defense. Sometimes Brunson was out and Quickly was in for the defensive side. I think he brought RJ in so we can have a little bit more size on the floor. Big win for the Knicks. Look, the Knicks were up 17 points. They had 71 points at half. Another big half for the Knicks. Julius Randle was on fire in the first half and finished it off in the second half. But the Miami Heat weren't going to go away. They knew how important this game was as well. So they chipped and they chipped and they chipped and they chipped and finally took a lead in the fourth quarter. But the Knicks responded. Jalen Brunson hit a big shot. Julius Randle. You know what? When Julius Randle hit the first big shot, I said to myself, finally, Julius Randle hits one of these monster shots that's needed. And he got the and one, and he made the free throw. Then right after that, he had a turnover, which gave the Miami Heat the lead back. But then Julius Randle comes up with the big shot, the big three to win the game for the Knicks. Literally, that's the first time in his Knicks career that I think Julius Randle has hit one of these shots. And it's something we've been waiting for. Because the big knock on Julius Randle being the guy for the Knicks, and even with Jalen Brunson, about these guys being the guy, they're putting up stats. But then the question always comes down to, can they do it in the clutch? Can they bring the game home for you? Jalen Brunson has proved that he can knock down big shots in the clutch. Julius Randle has struggled in that department. Even 2 years ago, Julius Randle struggled to knock down those big shots in big moments. He would miss free throws. He would miss those game-winning shots, or, not even the game-winning shots, the shots to help you get to the game-winning shot, right? And even in this season, Julius Randle's missed some of those game-winning or clutch shots and clutch free throws. So maybe this opens the floodgates. Maybe Julius Randle needed to get one off of his back. And now we'll see him. Maybe it'll be a little bit easier for him. It won't be such a daunting task, because he's got the monkey off his back now. Hopefully, it's what I'm hoping. He can start to knock down those shots consistently. Because, ladies and gentlemen, Julius Randle, obviously he was an all-star this year. I think he's going to be an all-NBA player. And he's got his name in MVP. He's got his name in the MVP race. He's at 7. And after the last couple of weeks, he could move up a slot. Right? So Julius Randle is receiving that kind of recognition. And if he continues to play like this, and if he knocks down shots like this on a regular basis, and I'm not saying they have to be game winners, but if you can start to really depend on Julius Randle to hit these shots or to come up with big plays in these moments, people start to look at Julius Randle in another light now. It's not just, okay, he's an all-star. It's cool. He's putting up great numbers. Now you start to look at him. If he does this consistently, you start to look at him and say, he's taking his game to another level. And now now you got to start mentioning him in, that star status. I mean, he's like right there right now. The only thing missing from his game right now is scoring and bringing home wins in these clutch moments. That's what's missing in his game right now. And he did it tonight. And if he can do it consistently, what can you say, man? Confidence. Darren Wayne said confidence. Yes, when you hit a shot like this, against a team with the defensive chops of the Miami Heat, right? He was under pressure, so on and so forth. You hit a shot like this, it does help to breed that confidence. And help you to, now you feel confident that you can hit that shot. You're not scared. He wasn't scared to take the shot, obviously. And if you continue to hit him, you're not going to be scared to take him. As a matter of fact, you look forward to taking those shots. And if he can build his confidence to take and make these shots, and if Jalen Brunson is making those shots, watch out. Watch out, man. Because the Knicks might have something different going on. If he's going to make those shots consistently. Julius Randle averaging, over 25 points per game this season, 10 rebounds per game this season, about 4 assists per season. His turnovers are down to like 2.8. Shooting 46% from the field. Shooting it well from the three-point line. He's playing great defense. And the fans are on his side. Last year, Julius Randle would have been afraid to raise his hands up. Well, you couldn't see it, but, raise his hands up and ask for the crowd to bring it on. Now he's doing things like, it looked to me like he was saying, this is our house. You know what I mean? Yeah, you gotta love it. And kudos to Knicks fans too, man. Kudos to Knicks fans, because every time we go to one of these cities, Miami's and Washington and Atlanta, Charlotte, and we got Knicks fans, half the crowd is Knicks fans. You know what I mean? It shows the players some real love. And it gives Randall and Brunson and those guys, it allows them to be able to say, this is our house. We own this. We run this. You know what I mean? Because we got so many fans there. I mean, they mentioned it on the broadcast. When the fans started chanting, let's go Knicks, I think maybe it was the third quarter, and Clyde was like, I'd never heard a Knicks chant in another arena that loud. That loud. You know what I mean? That's gotta feel bad for other teams. They've got to feel like, yo, why do we have more Knicks fans in the building, or just as many Knicks fans in the building as Heat fans or Wizards fans or Hornets fans? You know what I mean? Like, if I'm a fan, if I'm a player on another team, I'm a little bit upset at that. For real, because I want my team to come out. I want my fans to come out and support my team. But anyway, it's lovely if it's like that for, and the Knicks are winning basketball games. It's going to be crazy in all these other cities, even in the playoffs. You know what I mean? The Knicks tonight got out-rebounded by the Heat 46-38. 23 assists for the Knicks, 23 assists for the Heat. 8 steals for the Knicks, 7 for the Heat, 4 blocks for the Knicks, 2 for the Heat. Low turnover game, 11 turnovers for the Knicks, 12 for the Miami Heat. The Knicks shot 58% from the field, folks. 58% from the field, 41.5% from the three-point line. Still, those free throws, man. The Knicks got to do something with the free throws. 64.7%, the Knicks from the free throw line. The Miami Heat, 93.8%. Points in the paint, the Miami Heat, 52 points in the paint. The Knicks, 50. 19 second chance points from the Heat, only 6 for the New York Knicks. But look, the Knicks were so hot, although the Miami Heat were hot as well. They shot the ball well, 48% for the Heat, 48% from the three-point line for the Miami Heat. So it's not like they didn't shoot the ball well. They did. But the Knicks shot it better. So the better you shoot, the less you're going to have offensive rebounds to grab. You understand what I'm saying? So it does make sense that the Knicks would, they got outscored in second chance points by 13, 19 for Miami, 6 for the New York Knicks. Fast break points, the Knicks 23, the Miami Heat 14, ladies and gentlemen. Just a beautiful all-around win from the New York Knicks. Beautiful win. Let me get your phone call here. Caller, you live. Tell me your name and where you're from, please.
Tony Crow from the Bronx.
Tony, what's poppin' with you, bro? What's poppin' with you, bro?
Oh, man, Sim, I wish I could be on with you, man. It's snowing like crazy, and it's going to snow for 12 hours.
Yeah.
And I got to be to work at 6.
I dig it. It's all good, baby. It's all good.
I had to jump in, man. You touching on a lot of good points, with Randall. I'm not going to get too deep into that. I got a question for you.
Yeah.
Do you think this one right here gives us enough of a cushion to maybe sit Brunson next game and let him rest up? Because that that twisted ankle definitely looked pretty bad. I was surprised he came back.
Mm-hmm.
But hopefully it was just a tweak. But he's gonna say I'm good to go no matter what. I feel like, you know what I mean. And it might be one of those decisions where you might have to save him from himself. But I hope I'm just overthinking it. But do you think we have enough of a cushion to sit him if and give him that extra day of rest?
I mean, I wouldn't have a problem with it, to be honest with you. I wouldn't have a problem with it, just to make sure that the ankle is healed. I want to win that game against Boston. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I really want the Knicks to be on an 8-game win streak now. I'd like them to be on a 10-game win streak going into that West Coast trip. But Jalen Brunson it's more important that he's healthy going down the stretch of the season and going into the playoffs, So
that's what I'm thinking, because he got banged up the previous game. Excuse me, my bad. But he got banged up the previous game as well. You know what I mean? So,
right.
And he a warrior. So I was just thinking, he's always going to be like, yeah, I'm good to go. I could fight through it. You know what I mean? And he probably can. But like you're saying, it's better to have him 100%, moving forward, than to have him at 80, 75, 80% for like 4 or 5 games. You know what I mean?
Right.
Before he gets back to 100.
Right. Nah, I mean,
yeah,
I'm with it. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't have a problem with it if you had to sit him for a game or two so his ankle can heal up. I guess it's going to, sometimes those things look worse than they actually are. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes they are. The fact that he was able to come back and play is obviously encouraging.
And play well.
And play well.
Play well. Like the longer he was out there, it did seem like when he first came back, he still looked like he was hobbled a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But after about a minute or two, I ain't gonna front. He looked like he was back to himself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It felt like he just had to adjust a little bit. But
that's what it is. You twist your ankle, and when you get back on it at first, you're like, all right, let me just make sure I can actually push off on this under pressure, under stress. You know what I mean? And then once you see that you can, then you just, you could just go and you just ball. I'm pretty sure it's sore. And they probably in the back, had him running and cutting, to see, if he could do it at full strength. And then they made the decision, okay, you're good. Probably shot him up with something so he don't feel the pain. You know what I mean? And
You heard Clyde. You heard Clyde say, "Yeah, I don't know what they did to Brunson."
They did something.
And then the other announcer was like, "They taped it up. They taped it up."
Right. Yeah, they taped him up. Yeah. They gave him a shot of something in that ankle. You know what I mean, to make sure the pain is gone. But they'll probably. And I'm going to say on the report, he's probably going to be questionable. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I would think so. The good thing is they don't play tomorrow, so he can rest up tomorrow, put it in a boot, keep it elevated. If you see him in a boot, I wouldn't even panic if you see him in a boot. The way things are nowadays, it's like, listen, we're going to put you in a boot so that you can walk. But the boot is really just so that you're not putting pressure on it, unnecessary pressure on it, because all the pressure is going on the boot and not on your foot. So if we do see him in a boot, I wouldn't worry about it if you see him in a boot. I would think it's just to protect his ankle. So they'll probably make sure he's resting, keeping it elevated, ice, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Then they'll have him working out a little bit on it on Sunday before the game. And then, he'll probably be a game time decision or something like that. But you're right. Brunson, he's going to say, I'm good. Like you said, if I can walk, I can play.
Yep. Yep.
You know what I mean?
But yeah, man, we on a roll. Let's keep it going. This is the best I've been feeling about the Knicks since in a long time. Probably 12 was it 2013. But yeah, man. Shout out to you, man. Keep doing your thing as always, man. Appreciate you.
No
Shout
doubt.
out to the chat and your Blackest Time.
Appreciate you, my brother. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Let me get you a couple of super chats here, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, De La Music, thank you for the super chat. I appreciate you. He says 64% to 92% from the line, and we still won by 2, and we were out rebounded 2. Yes. Yes, we still won by 2, and we were out rebounded. You know what I mean? Out rebounded 46 to 38. You know what I mean? And that's all heart and hustle right there. You know, even though the Knicks were up 17, they gave up the lead, but they battled back. You know, that's going to happen. You're going to give up leads. You know what I mean? The Knicks have figured out how to, all right, I gave up the lead, but let me make sure I finish this off still. They figured it out. Afro Jedi, they said, I'm reaching, but this is how we're going to do it. It's crazy. How we scored 73 the night we honor 73. We scored 71 at the half in this game and then break a record that was held by the 73 team. We won a chip in 72-73. Yeah, you know, hey, first of all, thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it. You know what I mean? Look, I mean, I know there's a lot of people putting numbers together. And right now, things are feeling real special for the New York Knicks. I'm not going to go crazy. I'm just going to enjoy the moment, enjoy the ride. You know what I mean? But things are definitely feeling real special for the New York Knicks right now. Feeling real, real special. Real special. Anybody, I see people in here saying, Randall haters, please exit. Anybody that's hating on Julius Randle, you know, someone said trade Randle while his stock is high. You know, anyone that is hating on Julius Randle right now, you're literally just doing it to troll Knicks fans at this point. You know what I'm saying? Because Julius Randle is playing at, shall I say it, an MVP level. And that's just the truth. That's not even me being a homer. He is playing at an MVP level. You got to give it up for Julius Randle. You know what I mean? Averaging almost 26 points per game. That's higher than he did 2 years ago. And not only is he averaging more points, but just his style of play is better than it was 2 years ago. Everything that Julius Randle is doing right now is better than it was 2 years ago. You know what I mean? So, I mean, you can't throw hate Julius Randle's way anymore. You know, all of this, you know, trade him while his stock is high and all of this stuff. Who you getting better right now? You ain't getting nobody better. So, you know, leave all that stuff alone. Y'all bugging. You know what I mean? Y'all are really bugging right now. Because you're not getting the Knicks are not getting anyone better in the near future. I'll say that. At least, they're definitely not this season. I guess you will see what happens in the summer. But, you know, Julius Randle is playing like a top 15 to 20 player in the league. You know what I mean? What can you do? Over the last 15 games, Julius Randle has scored 398 points over the last 15 games. You know what I mean? Julius Randle, over the last 15 games, let's see where he is in his average in the last 15 games. Let's see. I don't know. Can't find him. Julius Randle, 15th in the league in scoring in the last 15 games, 26.5 points per game in the last 15 games, 47.4% from the field, 35.5% from the three-point line. You know what I mean? He's been one of the best players in the league for a while now. And every time that he's playing against a top player, Julius Randle is having good games, good basketball games. I mean, Jalen Brunson in the last 10 games is averaging 27.5 points per game, shooting 56% from the field, shooting 43.9% from the three-point line. And Julius Randle in the last 10 games is averaging 28.7 points per game. That's 8th in the league. And he's shooting 43% from the field. Jalen Brunson is 10th. I mean, over the last 10 games, the Knicks have had 2 of the top 10 scorers in the league over the last 10 games. You know, what can you say? What can you say? Right now, the New York Knicks, when the new NBA power rankings come out, if the Knicks continue to play the way that they're playing, the Knicks may be a top 5 team in the league. If they continue to do this. You know what I mean? If they continue to do this, they will be considered one of the top 5 teams in the league. As a matter of fact, if you're talking about wins right now over the last 10 games, obviously the New York Knicks, are 9-1. One of the best teams in the league. If you look at the last 15 games, the New York Knicks are second in the league over the last 15 games. The only team better is the Milwaukee Bucks because they're on a 16-game winning streak. But over the last 15 games, the Knicks are 11-4 as a team, shooting 49.7% from the field, shooting 37.7% from the three-point line. One of the best. I mean, they've been playing at a clip that is the second best in the league over the last 15 games. It's exciting that the Knicks are playing such good basketball. It's exciting. Next up to bat are the Boston Celtics. For the second time within a week, the Knicks are going to take on the Celtics. The Celtics lost to the Brooklyn Nets tonight. They gave up a 28-point lead. They lost 115-105, giving up a 28-point lead. Mikal Bridges, 38 points, 10 rebounds, and 4 assists. Jaylen Brown had 35 points, 5 rebounds, and 4 assists. And ladies and gentlemen, the Celtics were 100%. Marcus Smart, Jaylen Brown, Robert Williams, Al Horford, and Jason Tatum all played. And they gave up a 28-point lead. Not only did they give it up, but they lost the game by 10. It's 38-point turnaround. 38-point turnaround. I understand how the Celtics feel. Last night, my team went to, we went and played a playoff game, and we jumped out to a 23-point lead. We lost the entire lead. Ended up down by 2, but we ended up winning the game by 5. Still lost the entire lead after being up 23. It's tough. But they had the poise to pull it out. So the Knicks will be playing the Boston Celtics, who, may be a little upset that they gave up a 28-point lead. And, obviously looking for revenge on the Knicks because the Knicks just beat them up the other night. So that's going to be a tough one for the Knicks. If Jalen Brunson can't go, I assume Emmanuel Quickly will step into the starting lineup, and then Deuce McBride will step back into the rotation off the bench. And it'll be interesting to see, how the Knicks play against a top team without Jalen Brunson there. You only got to do it for one night. Just one night. It would be interesting to see how they play against one of these top teams without Jalen Brunson. Not that I don't want to see it. I want Jalen Brunson to be healthy and Jalen Brunson to play. But if you have to, you have to. You know what I mean? But Immanuel Quickley's been playing amazing basketball as well. As a matter of fact, over the last 15 to 20 games, Immanuel Quickley might be the third best player on the team as far as scoring the ball and things. And he's already one of the best defenders on the team. Immanuel Quickley, I'm gonna check what it is right now, what he's been doing over the last, 15 games and where he is in scoring and all of that stuff for the Knicks. But as an all-around basketball player, he's really been good for the Knicks. Really good. You know what I mean? And you can't say enough. And so if he has to step in and start for Jalen Brunson, it obviously takes away, I don't even want to say it takes away his freedom. He's learning how to play with that group because he plays, a number of minutes every single night with Brunson, with Randall, because he's playing down the stretch of games. So I think he's pretty comfortable playing with these guys. And understands, obviously he's comfortable. I guess I should say understands where to get his shot and how to get his shot, when he's going to take the shot. I don't think there's any question there from Immanuel Quickley when playing with the starters. Immanuel Quickley, he's been averaging 13 points per game over the last, that's for the season. Let's see what he's doing over the last 15. Immanuel Quickley over the last 15 is averaging 14.7 points per game. RJ Barrett over the last 15 is averaging 16.9. But Quickley over the last 15 games is giving you 15 points per game. He's shooting 49% from the field, and he's shooting 43.3% from the three-point line. RJ may be averaging more points over that time, but Immanuel Quickley's been the better player over that time, in my opinion. Quickley also giving you 4 rebounds, also giving you 2.9 assists. RJ Barrett's giving you 4 rebounds and 2.6 assists per game. Quickley's a better defender, in my opinion. RJ shooting 43% from the field and 29.9% from three. Right during this time, RJ's attempting 15 shots a game. Quickley's only attempting 10.6 shots per game. He's been the Knicks' third best player because he's doing it on the offensive side and he's doing it on the defensive side. That's over the last 15 games. All right, he's played in all 15. RJ's played in 14 of them. You know what I mean? So if Jalen Brunson has to go out, obviously, it changes your lineup a little bit. Deuce McBride has to step back into the lineup. Right? Immanuel Quickley will step into that starting lineup. But I think Immanuel Quickley will, he'll be good. He'll probably average 20 points per game for the amount of time that he's in that starting lineup. Very, very proud of Immanuel Quickley in the way that he's playing basketball for the Knicks. You know what I mean? Because at the beginning of the season, there was just so many questions. There were people that like, I can get rid of Quickley, move on, blah, 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 blah. You know what I mean? But his game just evolved, and he became more under control, started to understand his shot selection. He wasn't all over the place. His defense really, really exploded. And now you can't keep Quickley. You don't want to take Quickley off the floor, right? You want to keep him out there. You come to rely on Quickley to get shots. You come to rely on Quickly to make big plays, to play great defense. And he is quickly, no pun intended, turning himself into a player that you dread when you talk about when teams want to put him in trades. But, when you start talking about bringing in a guy, teams they're gonna look at Quickly. They're gonna say, we want this guy because right now he's outplaying his contract by miles. Right? Makes like $2 million, almost $3 million this season. So when the Knicks start negotiating with teams about trades, Quickly may be the first guy they bring up. We want Quick because they can get him on the cheap. Maybe the first guy. And that definitely puts the front office in a quagmire. You know what I mean? I've been studying my vocabulary. Puts him in a quagmire because what do you do? If it's a guy that you really want, do you hold him and say, nah, we want to keep Quickly? I mean, the value that Quickly has is tremendous. He makes $2.3 million this season. He makes $4.1 million next season. And then there's a qualifying offer for $6.1 for the following season. Now, when it comes time to that qualifying offer, the Knicks will probably extend him before then. They'll figure out what to do there. But teams are they're gonna ask for Quickly because they know they're gonna get a very, very good basketball player at a very, very low price. But Keith Turner said IQ ain't going to. I agree with you 100%. I think IQ is here to stay IQ is here for the stay. You know what I mean? Keith said he's ready to extend IQ. And I think the Knicks will, because when you look at that season, and that season where the Knicks would give Quickly a qualifying offer, and I think they can probably extend him next season. I don't know. Right? Because if they extend him next season, then the contract wouldn't begin until 24-25. Right? So next season he would actually next season, at the end of next season, or maybe by October of next season or something, they can give him an extension. So the Knicks would still pay him $4.1 million next season. Then the contract extension would begin in 24-25. And at 24-25, the Knicks will have money. Right now, the Knicks have $92.6 million committed in 24-25. And that $92.6 million is committed to Jalen Brunson at 24.9. Julius Randle at 27.5. Mitchell Robinson at 14.3. RJ Barrett at 25.7. Okay, so and then you have you got to make a decision about Obi in that season, about Emmanuel Quickly in that season. There is a team option for Quentin Grimes, a team option for Jericho Sims. All right, but either way, the Knicks will be well below the cap. All right, now Josh Hart makes $12.9 million next season. The Knicks in 24-25 would have to figure out what are they going to do with Josh Hart. But they'll have the money to do so. All right, $92 million. The Knicks are paying out this year $146.8 million. Okay, so in 24-25, when it's time to extend, when Quickly's extension would kick in, I mean, the Knicks have $50 million to play with. You know what I mean? So yeah, I think they would be able to pay Hart and Quickly and still bring in another player or sign other players or do whatever they have to do to fill out the roster. So I think they'll be able to afford quickly. I know there's been questions about it. I think they'll be able to afford him. I don't think it's going to be a problem. You know what I mean? And I think he's going to be a Knick. You know what I mean? I think he's going to be a Knick. Lloyd Barker said, "What's ready?" He said, "What's good, Sim? What's good with you, Lloyd? I appreciate you." He said, "I'm ready to jump out the window." I hear you. I think everybody's ready to jump out the window, man. I think everybody's ready to jump out the window, with the way the Knicks are playing right now. One of the top teams in the league. It's no doubts about it. The Knicks are playing. They're one of the top 5 teams in the league over the last 15 games. Actually, over the last 15 games, they're top 2 in the league. We'll see if they can continue to play at this clip. I guess I'll ask you guys this. If the Knicks continue to play like this, they're going to take losses, but if they continue to play like this down the stretch of the season, do you consider them contenders if they continue to play like this? The playoffs are a different beast altogether. They got to prove it there, I guess. And that's what D. Moore said. We don't run good sets for the playoffs. I guess we'll find out when the playoffs come if we run good sets for the playoffs or not. Right? I mean, you can't really point to the year 2 years ago because this is a different team. You have different players. You got Jalen Brunson, who makes a world of difference than having Elfrid Payton. So we'll see if there's sets. We'll see how the execution looks in the playoffs with this basketball team. You know what I mean? Emmanuel Quickley wasn't the player that he is. You didn't have Josh Hart. You didn't have Quentin Grimes. We'll see how execution looks during the playoffs. You know what I mean? Silk something said, "Hey, Sim, how do you like that Jimmy Butler stare down to Randall in the third quarter?" Yep, it's all respect. Just like you said, it's all respect. You know what I mean? You don't get that, you don't get that kind of attention from somebody if they don't respect you. You don't get that kind of attention. It's all respect. Kaiju says, "No doubt, yes, contenders." Obviously, he's saying if they continue to play like this. Edwin said, "We're playing like contenders. We're playing like," I like that you said that. We're playing like contenders. Right? We'll see when the playoffs come. You know what I mean? We'll see when the playoffs come if they can continue to play like that. What can we say? The New York Knicks playing great basketball, great win over the Miami Heat tonight. They continue to surprise a lot of people, including myself, and where they're going and what they're doing. Who would have thought that the chemistry between the players was going to lead to such good basketball play. And they are a team. There's no doubt about it. The Knicks are a team that need all of their pieces to work. But it's working, and they're doing it, and the chemistry helps. And they're bringing in the right guys in order for it to happen. You heard me talk about that before. Can't feel more better than I feel about the Knicks right now, folks. I'm loving what I'm saying. I hope that it continues. I would like to see, listen, they play the Boston Celtics on Sunday. Hopefully Jalen Brunson's ankle can rest up a little bit. They can give him some treatment, and he'll be able to play. I don't know if the Knicks are going to look at it as a statement game. They may. I'm pretty sure they want to get the win. If they win that game, they'll be on a 9-game win streak. They'll be 12 games above 500. Then they'll have Charlotte coming in next, which that should be a win. And then if they won that game, they'd be 13 games above 500. And, breathing down the necks of the Cleveland Cavaliers for that 4th seed. So kudos to the Knicks, man. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to get up out of here. I really do appreciate your time. I've got to get some rest. Got a state finals game tomorrow. And I want to be, top notch as much as I can be. You know what I mean? Let me tell you, it was a crazy night, man. We came out and we blitzed this team. The girls ran the game plan to a T. We came out 20-2 in the first quarter. We didn't score that much in the second quarter. It was 25-7 at half. Then in the third quarter, they made a run. Fourth quarter, they made a run, took a lead. It was 41-39 with a minute to go. And we were on the free throw line. One of my players missed the free throw. One of our girls got the rebound, put it back, tied it at 41. We continued to press. We pressed all game long. We even pressed them off the rebound, right? We pressed all game long. She ties it. She gets the rebound, puts it back, and ties it. We're pressing. We get a steal, pass it up. The 8th grader on our team knocks down a 3. We're up 3. We're still pressing. Get another steal. Our 8th grader gets fouled because now it's down to like 25 seconds. They foul her on purpose. She goes to the line, knocks down 2 free throws, and we win the basketball game. How much can I say about that young lady? The biggest play of the game was the offensive rebound to tie the game. My senior, she could have kept the ball. She decided, no, I'm going to give it to the little one. She knocks down a 3. Team effort. How much can you say about her? In a big game like that, the state semifinals, not afraid to take the shot and make the shot. Big play after big play. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I'm out of here. I appreciate your time. See what I can do. See what we can. Hopefully, I come back with some good news after tomorrow. I'm out of here, folks. Peace.
This is NBK, nothing but Knicks. When Sim pass the assist, you know that it's #1 show that breaks down the game. If you can't play defense, stay out my way. Dribble the ball, come down the lane. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Who gon' win us the game? You wanna hear Nick updates and trade rumors? Postgame reviews, this the place you tune in. So tell a friend just to keep the ball moving. Like the page if you feeling the movement. Every game we coming to win. Give us a sub like a player that came off the bench. This is NBK, nothing but Knicks.